Hello there, and welcome back for day 12. We are talking about our first purpose, which is worship. You were planned for God's pleasure. Today's lesson is entitled Developing Your Friendship with God. Yesterday, we talked about becoming best friends. So now we're going to dive a little deeper into developing that friendship. Our first verse, Proverbs 3 and 32, says God offers his friendship to the godly. So, yes, he offers us friendship. If you want a deeper and more intimate connection with God, you must learn to honestly share your feelings with him. James 4 and 8 says, Draw close to God, and he will draw close to you. Job 42 and 7 version says, You haven't been honest either with me or about me, not the way my friend Job has. My friend Job will now pray for you, and I will accept his prayer. And that was God speaking to Job's friends. So, because of the relationship that God had with Job, he was willing to hear prayers concerning Job's other friends. So, that's the importance of having a good relationship with God. He answers and hears your prayers and will hear on behalf of others. Psalm 142, 2 and 3 says, I pour out my complaints before God and tell him all my troubles, for I am overwhelmed. That goes back to just being honest. God knows anyway, so you can be completely honest with him about how you're feeling, whether that's overwhelmed, angry, so on. You must trust when God asks you to do something. So the first thing is you got to be honest. And next, you got to trust him when he asks you to do something and then do it. John 15 and 14 says, Jesus said, You are my friends if you do what I command. So let me just pause for a second and say this whole video thing is not my idea. It's not something that I would normally do. If you follow me, you know I don't post a lot. I don't go live. I'm not talking on camera. But this is an idea that God gave me that I could not shake even when I tried. So I know that by doing this, even if I never see it, I'm doing what God asked me to do. I'm being obedient, even if I can't ever see the outpouring of that. And I've been blessed that some people have messaged me and said, they enjoyed a specific day's lesson or what have you, and that is amazing. But all glory goes to God, because this is not something that I would do on my own, but I did it because I trust God and I wanted to be obedient to what he was continuously putting on my mind. 1 Samuel 15 and 22 says, What pleases the Lord more, burnt offerings and sacrifices, or obedience? It is better to obey God than to offer a sacrifice. Jesus is our example as a person who was obedient and pleased God. Luke 2 and 51, the message says, Jesus went back to Nazareth with his parents and lived obediently with them. Now, this is God's son, son of God, God in the flesh, who still has to submit in obedience to his parents. So, being obedient is a part of this friendship relationship that we have with God. Okay, moving on. To be a friend of God, you also need to learn to care about what he cares about. Paul is the best example of this. God's agenda was his agenda, and God's passion was his. He says in 2 Corinthians 11 and 2, message version, The thing that has me so upset is that I care about you so much. This is the passion of God burning inside of me. David also felt the same way. He tells us in Psalms 69 and 9, Passion for your house, Lord, burns within me. So those who insult you are also insulting me. Your friendship with God will also develop when you learn to desire his friendship more than anything else. Psalm 63 and 3 says, Your love, Lord, means more to me than life. So listen, to wrap up today, we're developing our friendship, learning what it means to actually build and grow our friendship with Christ. The one thing you need to do is be honest and share your feelings, whether they be frustrations, anger, being upset, if you feel lost, if you feel alone, whatever you're feeling, trust God with that and tell him. The second thing is to trust him. Do what he asks you to do. When he gives you an idea or a task to do, something that outside of yourself, something you cannot get away from that keeps coming into your mind, trust God and then do what he asks. And then care about the things that he cares about. You learn more about what he cares about by reading and studying his word. There's a lot of things that he cares about, that when you learn that, it changes, shifts your perspective on life and things that you should be passionate about. Friendship and right relationship needs to be the most important thing. If you're concerning yourself with your relationship with God, spending time with him, you'll see changes in your life, and it will change how you live and function. All right, guys, that is day 12. It's Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow. If this message blessed you, hit share or tag somebody in the comments that might need to see it or hear it as well. I love y'all. See you tomorrow.